Hello. I'm standing on the stage, which is 50 square meters. So it's not technical problem, don't worry. Right behind me is one screen that is about 10 square meters, and I have another screen to the left side of the stage, which is 7 square meters. I'm 165 centimeters tall. My hair color code is A60596, I guess. And my eye color code is 05990A. So I'm wearing a cardigan which is 70% white and 30% some and other colors. And it's boring, isn't it? So why am I even telling you all this? I can show you. Hey. So don't tell me, show me, because visual information is processed up to 60,000 times faster than text information. And this is actually quite a huge number. You can see this even on the screen, the scale. It means that we can glance at a chart or some another visual image and quickly draw the conclusion, and it saves us not only time but effort too. That's why visual storytelling is the strategy that we can't neglect if we care about educating and informing our audience. So let's start by design definition. What is design for? This is my favorite image, actually. So design solves problems. It provides some elegant solutions. And information design solves information problems. It means that it communicates some ideas, concepts, data, and stories, and does it with powerful visual tools on hands. It feels like we are all suffering from information overload and data glut, and there's an easy solution to that, to use our eyes more. So, I want to talk about the plenty of data which is in our world now, and it means that there is plenty of information as well, and it's quite hard sometimes to make meaning out of those enormous numbers. And what data visualization does is to try to see stories behind the data and make those stories visible. And what information design adds to it, information design tries to translate those stories into more universal visual language that can be perceived and felt. And besides that, information design is something more than graphic design, because information designers should be equipped well to understand story behind the data, and then tell this story to another people by visualization of this. And I think you will agree that if we don't understand something, we are not able to explain the same thing to another people. And that's our work of information designers, to explain really complicated and difficult issues shown by data. And besides that, the really greatest commandment in information design is make me care. Please, emotionally, intellectually, aesthetically, just make me care. And I know I made this one observation in my life about how we are perceiving things personally and how we start caring about them. I think it's quite obvious, but it was my observation, and I'm happy I made it. So in my early ages, I was thinking that good psychology should provide us with proper solutions to our problems. But later, when I studied some psychology and when I caught myself in enjoying observing some people's behavioral patterns, this simple truth revealed to me. Ready solutions does not work. Like, it's not something that we created, and it just doesn't work this way. Because we skipped the process of realizing those problems and its causes, and we jumped into the really important process of moving towards the solution. And that's because we care about things when they are personal, and that should be felt by us to matter to us. And one of the greatest, maybe not greatest, but one of the challenges of information designer is to make people feel something. And because of, as I told before, just ready solutions does not work, and that's why we are trying to make audience put things together, to not give them 4, but give them 2 plus 2. I want to show you one infographic, one of my works. It's about air pollution in Georgia. And you know, visual storytelling is like ordinary storytelling. It's knowing your punchline, your story development, your ending, and knowing that every single visual that you are showing from the first image to the last is leading to a singular goal, and ideally confirming the truth that data told to you. And exactly those punchlines, story development, and ending are our add-ons, our components for audience to put together. In the first block of this infographic, can you see it actually? But I will explain. We are talking about, we are kind of creating some objective image of reality, the truth shown by data. And we have presented up to 300 data points here. And what design does in this case is that by selecting certain colors and certain way of visualization, this chart, it creates the complete image at first glance. And we have not included every single numeric value per each data point here, to not distract you with useless numbers, but we visualize the portions that are above the acceptable level of air pollution. So this is the design solution to the problem, and it communicates this message really quickly, and it makes effortless to understand the situation behind this data. So in the second block of this infographic, actually it's entire infographic, but I split it to explain well. In the second block of this infographic, we kind of are trying to emphasize the really important and scary trends through data. And what if we finish our story here? You may ask, so what? And people may ask, so what? By finishing our story here, it would miss some context and some personal aspect, like what impact this situation can have on us, on people. That's why in the third block of this visualization, we are making some conclusion, and we are talking about the consequences of air pollution. How does air pollution affect our health? So now it's much more personal for us, and we are caring about it because we understand that air pollution can be something that is dangerous for us. The elements we provide and the order we place them in is crucial whether we succeed or fail at engaging the audience. And I explained the logical part of narrative here, but it's not enough. We should craft not only logical, but emotional narratives as well. And it's important to consider what emotions we are trying to bring forth. And every graphic designer knows how to use colors and images to create emotions that can certainly tell their own story or reinforce the story we are already telling with other content. And we are creating the mood with the images, and this way we make our audience ready to our story. And when they actually start to explore our story, they are already on the halfway through to understand the situation and the issues. And here in this infographic, at the beginning, we created this mood of danger with colors and this danger sign. And this way we made people know that situation is really extreme. And I want to show you another infographic about Stalin. And as you see, it's kind of Soviet posters, visual style creates non-verbal message about its topic and does it so fast that we can immediately decide, is it the topic we might be interested or not. So, and you know what's our biggest challenge in creating emotions? It's, we are trying to make people feel something rather than just think about word of emotion. Because sometimes we tend to shy from representing things too literally, and that's because often we prefer to evoke an emotion than just shove the literal information down the user's throat. I want to show you another image, and I want to tell you the story behind this infographic. Our storyteller and data journalist, Nino, shared this data with me. Of course, that this way in the Excel, but still. And I started thinking about the concept of this visualization, and it took me quite a long time. Because I did not like this data. I don't know why. I didn't know why, but I had the feeling that it missed something. It's just snapshot of reality, some data that is showing some reality, but it's not narrative. It has no narrative. It has no some punchline and story development, and it's just raw data and really dry data and not interesting. It can be interesting, but in this way, I was thinking that it's not interesting. So, and when I was thinking about the concept, and it took me a long time, and I was really scared, I made an observation that the real problem in this data is that that's the problem that we even don't notice. Or I forget to tell you about the topic of this infographic. It's about gender inequality in family roles. So, and I realized that that's a problem that we even don't notice, because sometimes when we see something very often, we get habituated to it and we stop noticing it. And when we stop noticing a problem, we are not able to solve it. So that was my, I don't know how to say, the thing that I caught in this data. And I decided, I came up with the decision to create these illustrations of situations with switched gender roles in family. I don't know, I really want you to see it. Do you see it? No? Okay, I'll try to explain. There are some very usual situations in the families, in the Georgian families mostly. And in those illustrations, the roles are switched. For example, instead of men, there is woman, and vice versa. So, and if you would see those images, I think that you would laugh on them. And the idea of creating the illustrations was to make people think that there's something strange. And it's funny. It's not funny in reality, but in these illustrations, it's really funny. And the way, and when we will start think that it's really strange in switched roles, we will understand that it should be as strange and in current situations as well. So after those illustrations, I added this part of data and reinforced this message with the data, and made people think that the illustrations that they saw before was something strange, and it's reality actually in Georgia, in families, and this inequality is problem, and we should care about this problem. And I want to tell you a couple more words about interactive visualizations and how interactive visualizations gives us the possibility to personalize the data. This was the portal, the interactive visualization about corruption data, and we had really enormous data here, but we thought that if we will show to the users enormous data of corruption, they will think that it's someone else's problem, not ours, because we never experienced these corruption cases. That's why we came up with the idea of showing to the people the corruption reported from people like them. And here you can feel, for example, I am 30 years old woman living in an urban area, and this portal shows me exact corruption cases reported by exactly same people, like who are 30 years old women living in urban area. And you can see that I filled this information with this sentence, and even this sentence is quite human. So we are going through hundreds of information every day, jumping from one to another, and suddenly we stop on one, and something caught us, and we start to care about it. So it's not by chance, it's by design. Thank you.